Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello there, how's it going? Welcome to episode 56 of 15 Minutes of Genius, sometimes 17 minutes, sometimes 25 minutes. We go overtime all the time, and it's all good because there's no time limit here. We can do whatever the hell we want. So, really amazing show. We bring on entrepreneurs, we bring on investors, we bring on founders, we bring on people that have had successful exits. We just had Mike Fata on our last episode, 55. He had a $500 million exit with Manitoba Harvest. These are the amazing guests we love to bring on this program. We have a great guy today with a great, even I think as great or greater product. We'll get into introducing him. But first, big plug for Mark Nicholas at ManhattanBeachStudios.net. Mark N, ManhattanBeachStudios.net. There he is. Blue shirt, blue eyes. Looking good. All right. So, again, he is the king of the castle here running this entire show. If you ever want to run your own podcast, if you want to do photo shoots, photo studios, video, creative media, he does it all. Again, right here in Manhattan Beach. Not Manhattan, New York, Manhattan Beach, California. All right. Speaking of California and L.A., our guest, who is based in L.A., is David Czinn. He is the CEO and co-founder of Devash Organics. A little bit about him and his co-founder and product. David and Brian Finkel, the other co-founder, started Devash Organics after meeting and becoming best friends on a study abroad trip to Israel. After seeing how ubiquitous dates and date syrup were in the Middle East, that's for sure, the duo decided to team up and launch Devash Organics in LA. Devash is a sustainable superfood company that uses ugly produce to reduce food waste in order to create healthy alternative sweeteners, marinades, and snacks with no added sugar. Devash products are now available in over 6,000 stores across the U.S. and Canada, and I saw it in Costco. So, Dave, how's it going, my friend?
Good, thank you. Great to be here. Thank you for having me, Alex. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. It looks like you have a very nice house in the background. You got the lighting that's like sunk into the ceiling. You have great cabinets.
Recessed lighting.
Recessed lighting. You have like the fresh white paint. It looks pretty damn nice. I think the date industry has been very good for you. I can tell.
Thank you.
All right, my friend. Well, let's get into your story. You had a study abroad trip to Israel. I'm part of the tribe as well. And,
very cool.
Yeah. So just wanted to, I don't know how I found coconuts. That's in Thailand. I was actually raised around a lot of Asians. My wife, she's Chinese. Almost half of our staff are Asian. And I grew up in Palos Verdes with a lot of Asian friends, so that's how I got into coconuts, I guess. That was my pathway. But let's talk about your pathway to dates, why dates, meeting your eventual co-founder and partner in Israel. Tell us more about the story. Why dates and why now? Like what's going on in the industry?
Yeah, it kind of all started with our friendship. Brian and I, immediately became best friends while we were studying abroad on a gap year. And, one of the many things Brian and I would do was, we would, try all the different cuisines in the Middle East. And, we were really impressed with all the different products they have there. And, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Brian grew up in Chicago. And, you didn't really have a lot of dates. You didn't really have a lot of date syrup. And, that was really where the idea initially transpired. We always knew we wanted to do a business, but it didn't really start there. That wasn't the real aha moment. It took us a couple of years after that initial trip when we really decided to jump in, get our feet wet, and just hit the ground running and do it. And so, Brian and I actually both worked in finance for a little bit after graduating college. Brian went to the University of Pennsylvania, and I went to the University of Maryland. And, after working a few years in finance, Brian actually was he was actually on a consulting project in the Middle East. And, he actually said, he's like, we always want to do a business together. I came across this product called Ceylon. What do you think about us, trying to launch it in the US? And so, I tried the product and I thought it was amazing. And I had a little bit of experience prior to that. I started a previous CPG company with one of my best friends and one of my cousins. And, we had a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of background, and, it really made sense. It really clicked. And, I just saw the opportunity of dates. I think fiber is, an area that is quickly becoming, more and more important throughout the global diet. And a lot of dots really connected. The fact that dates are the cleanest form of natural sugar that's out there, along with the fact that it has antioxidants, potassium, fiber, magnesium. And after seeing how successful the products were in countries like Egypt, Jordan, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, we kind of thought, why aren't we doing this here in the US? And we really took a lot of our inspiration from brands like Sabra, where we saw, okay, they brought hummus to the United States. It was, it's a product that's been around for centuries. It's been available, all over the Middle East and the Mediterranean for centuries. And, they brought it here, they marketed right, and, they took over. And, we kind of thought, hey, we should be able to do the same thing. So, that's really how we fell into it. And, we started selling our products at a couple of farmers markets in LA, the holiday markets. And, one thing led to another. We were really blessed and fortunate that, Whole Foods, the local buyer took a chance on us. And from there, it was really focusing on the data, and then, taking that data and developing a strategy and replicating it again and again and again. And, it still, but an incredible event so far.
Got it. You can't spell, well, I guess you can, but you can't spell data without dates. That's a terrible joke. So I'm just filled with jokes tonight. It's just, this is like comedy hour here for me. I'm just, I think I'm in this kind of mood where I'm making jokes. But in all seriousness, it's a seriously great product. And
Thank you.
I have dates actually every morning, and not a date like with my wife or something, but dates. And so, I usually have it with almond butter or like peanut butter. I kind of just spoon nut butter, and then I like bite into a date. I have a tremendous sweet tooth, and I grew up eating a lot of like Laura bars, that have, it was the first bar that has like dates and nuts, like two ingredients.
Right.
And I'm like, this tastes so freaking good, and it's so simple, and it's all natural, clean sugar. So dates seem to be like something. What's going on in the category though? Like let's go back into like the data. I want to go into the boring stuff because we find it fascinating. Who cares about everyone else watching? Let's talk spins. Let's talk IRI. Let's put people to sleep over there on their monitors. So the category, the trends, dates. Like what is the data you've been seeing in this? In the trend, and like what's going on with it?
Yeah, it's definitely on an upward trajectory. I mean, we've received so much interest, and, even from other brands and retailers, especially, companies that use sweeteners. So anyone that uses honey, I think, is looking to switch to date syrup, especially since, the price of honey has been increasing since many of the honeybees have been dying, and, honey isn't as sustainable as it once was, especially with a lot of the pesticides that are used. It unfortunately kills a lot of the bees. And, maple syrup is a great product as well, but it's incredibly expensive. And, date syrup is really amazing since, you have an opportunity to, one, use a sustainable sweetener. If you use the ugly dates, since you're turning it into syrup, you're reducing food waste, which is, one, just a very important thing to do. But two, the fact that it has 25% less sugar than honey, that right there is a huge win. It's very versatile. You can use it in anything, and, you can really apply it to most products and swap it out, on a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to honey. And another great thing about date syrup is it's very low on the glycemic index. So especially for, people that are trying to reduce, or people that have, diabetes, for instance, or, with the childhood obesity being on the rise, this is really a great alternative. And, I think people in general are wired for sweets, but, you don't need to eat, or, you don't need to consume sugar. There's other there's other products or fruits that you can eat, sugar, but it's by far the healthiest. And, we've seen, all the buyers we've been talking to, they've just said how, anytime we show them a new product and it's date based, everybody gets really excited about it. And I think that, it's one of those things where sometimes, ideas or trends take a while to really grow. But I think that now people are more health conscious than ever before. And I think people are really starting to see the benefits, trying to get more fiber into their diets, trying to get more antioxidants. And you really have a fruit here that really checks all the boxes. And, I think that really excites a lot of, consumers, but especially the buyers as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, something that I have not really thought a lot about until you came on the scene was date syrup, because dates have been around for generations. We had Amanda Sains, from Julie's on, I think probably like 40 episodes ago, or a long time. Well, not long. Well, it seems like a long time ago, but it was only like 3 months ago. And like date syrup, to me, I think that is the innovator. Dates have been around a long time. That's always going to be a market niche, people that like dates. But I think the date syrup and also adding these really cool infusions of like cayenne, sweet potato nectar. These are just really cool combinations. So like, I could see this going pretty far, and I could see a lot of people using it. I think it just comes down to education. People need to know why it's better, right? So how are you getting it out there? Is it social media? I know with Costco, you're going to start, hopefully samples are going to start coming back in April and May.
Please.
Yeah. We're launching in new Costco regions, and like, we're just like, there's going to be demos, right? Like we're going to hand a sample to someone. Because tasting is believing. That's what's great about your product. Once you taste it, you understand how awesome the product is. So tell us more about your trajectory with retail distribution, right? Date syrup, maybe, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can't go everywhere, it would be awesome to have it on the front counter at a 7-Eleven. But it's going to be, in certain supermarkets, the natural. How do you plan to scale this and say, hey, this can be the next 30, 40 million, 50 million and up, revenue business? What's your go-to-market strategy with it?
Yeah, for us, I think the real plan and strategy that we have is to really, it's like you said, we have to figure out how to educate people. And one of the most successful things that we've done to date is we've launched a chef ambassador community. And so, it's always great, obviously, when you conduct promotions in the stores, and, that does a great, that does a great job in terms of generating trial. But we found there's nothing better than generating that word of mouth. And, when you can create that type of, marketing, and, when you can create that type of fan base, that'll really do a lot. And so for us, one of the biggest things that we've been doing is, partnering with regular chefs on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We'll give them the product in exchange for making recipes. And we need to really show people how to use our product. That's really the biggest thing. And, I think you hit the nail on the head that education is key. One of our advisors always told us, he's a big real estate guy. And he always said, you want to create products that have multiple ways to win. And so that's really what we look at doing. For us, it's the syrup you can pretty much use in anything. You can, use it in baked goods and as a marinade, as a dressing. You can use it in cocktails. And so for us, we need to show people how to use that. And that's really where we've been putting a lot of our energy and a lot of our time. But what we've really found is, if you find your super fans, that can lead to tremendous success. I'm a big believer in, obviously having a rock star sales team. But if you can find regular people that genuinely believe in your vision and your product and what you're all about, there is nothing better than creating a community around that, and they will actually help you generate the awareness. And I think that that's really been one of the best things. We have a rock star marketing team, Nicole Raymond, shout out to her. She's unbelievable. She's really gone above and beyond for us, and she's really helped us, partner with the right people. It's figuring out how to develop the right content, and, but it doesn't mean as much if it comes from the brand. I think it's really important for you to get other people to create the content and show regular people or your consumers, your customers, how they use this product on a regular basis. And so that for us has really been a leading driver, alongside, the traditional promotions and marketing that a lot of brands do. But I think that, nothing is better than when you're able to develop a community and really build, your super fan base around that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, it goes back, like you said, to usage occasion, right? That's the number one question. Well, maybe the number one question I get from buyers is, will this sell, right? Number two question is, should I bring this in, right? Should I take a chance on Genius Juice? And usually it's yes, most of the time. But like number two is, what is the usage occasion, right, for this product? Why would someone buy it? Like, start with why, the Simon Sinek thing, and Mike Fata also said this. Like, what is the why behind your product? There's a mission base, right? There's the upcycling. There's the ugly produce, the hypoglycemic. It's lower sugar. Tastes great. It saves the bees, from, we're not using honey. It's also vegan. Honey is not. There's so many things across the board, but at the top of the heap is, what do I use this for and why would I want it, right? And so, like, education, like you said, social media influencers, TikTok, like that is the right direction to go in. When someone visually sees how I can use this, it's a grand slam, and they're going to be customers for life with this product. So I see really great things for Devash, especially the date syrup. So no
Thank
BS,
you.
man. This can go really far. What's going to go really far is when you start doing demos with alcohol at Costco. I'll be there.
Hopefully soon. I mean, we reached out to the buyers the other day and we said, please, when are you guys going to have, tasting demos? Because I agree with you there. There is nothing that beats tasting a product. You really have to try it before you buy it. And that's one of the things I tell a lot of my friends, who are venturing or looking to start their own venture in the CPG space. You just have to go into this industry knowing that you're going to give away a ton of product. And look, if enough people like it, they'll continue to buy it. But yeah, please, I hope that we will all be able to demo again soon.
Yeah, we should like tag one of the Costco buyers on this, or tag CDS and be like, with the emoticon of the hands like this, like, please. But you know what? This is fresh off the press. Like, we're launching a couple new Costco regions, and I know that Texas, I believe they're going to be allowing some kind of sampling. Don't quote me on that for anyone watching, because right now we're taping this in March and it's going to be released in April. But I think April, May, June, we're actually getting closer to actually having physical sampling. We may have to give it to someone in a closed container, but at least it's one step closer to getting people to try the product. And your product, for sure, Genius Juice, has to be tasted. As you know, it's like tasting is believing. So let's get into our next segment here, because we're running out of time. Something really sweet and low hypoglycemic, and that is rapid fire questions. Rapid fire questions. Have you seen any previous episodes of this special?
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably know the questions already, but I might try to make up a couple here, but maybe not. We'll see how much my brain is clicking. I got to keep everyone on their toes, man. So, all right, here we go. All right, ready?
Okay.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Definitely Backstreet Boys.
All right. First thing you do when you wake up?
Read the news.
Okay, that could be good or bad. So
yeah.
Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times?
Probably Pulp Fiction.
Okay, right on. Quentin Tarantino. Song you can listen to an unlimited amount of times?
Probably The Days by Avicii.
I've not heard that before, but I'm going to listen to it.
It's great.
The Days by Vici?
By Avicii.
Oh, Vici. Okay.
Yeah, phenomenal song. Very motivating, just puts you in a good mood.
Awesome. Always love that. Good vibes, as Mark Samuel says. Shout out to Mark Samuel. The guy that will never, ever leave LinkedIn, and we want him to stay. And he's at the top of my feed every time.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. When he does like the LinkedIn lives, it's so funny. He's like, all right, come on. Who has a question? Come on, let's hear it. Let's do this. Having a great week. Good vibes. Come on. I just worked out for 45 minutes in the garage. I can do it. Let's do this. All right. So favorite sport, probably imitated him too well there. Favorite sport to watch?
Basketball.
Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet?
Zoom.
What is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal would probably be a Siberian tiger.
Nice. I was thinking definitely Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
So, for sure. So, window seat or aisle seat on an airplane?
Window seat, surprisingly. Like to, be able to lean on something if I can.
Exactly. For sleeping. So peanut butter and it pisses me off when I'm in the aisle seat. The worst thing ever is when I'm tall, so I have to put a leg into the aisle, right?
Yeah.
And then when they roll the carts down the aisle, it's like they don't give a crap.
Boom.
Like they'll go right into my leg. It's like no wonder there's so many lawsuits with United. Oops, did I just say that? All right, next.
I don't have the gift of height, but they'll smash my elbows all the time, and it's like I'm over it.
It's like a bulldozer, like just coming through, and anything in its way destroys. That could be a nice stand-up gig. So, peanut butter or almond butter, or neither?
Definitely almond butter.
Omnivore, flexitarian, vegetarian, or vegan?
Omnivore.
Cold weather or hot weather?
Hot weather. Left Cleveland for a reason.
Yep. This one's going to be a tough one because your co-founder is going to pick one, and you're going to pick you already know, LeBron James or MJ.
You don't even need to ask. Well, yeah, LeBron James.
Ginger or turmeric?
Ginger.
Favorite food or drink if you're stuck on a deserted island? You cannot say anything from Devash. You cannot say Genius Juice. And those two things. What would it be?
One thing, I'd probably pick Oats Overnight. If you've had that product, it's pretty awesome. It's a really great product. I eat it for breakfast pretty much every day. Is
it already pre-soaked or do you have to soak it?
No, you just have to add water to it. They actually, it's pretty cool. It's an overnight oat shake, but they have like almond milk already. It's like almond powder,
right?
Where you just add a little bit of water, you put it in the fridge overnight, boom, you're good to go. So if I'm on an island, I hope it's a freshwater island. So just take a little bit
exactly.
of the water,
Well, you're adding some sea salt to it, and that's not bad, right? To the overnight oats, A little bit of fishiness to it as well. All right.
There we go.
Yeah. So that is rapid fire questions. That with David Czinn, CEO and co-founder of Devash Organics. All right, my friend. So good having you at episode 56, and always good to see you, man. And continued success on your business. You're doing great.
Likewise. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be able to get together in person when the world normalizes soon.
Absolutely. And hopefully Expo East at least will be happening in Philadelphia. I guess we'll see. So I'm actually doing the first trade show at the produce show in June, and it's going to be at the LA Convention Center. So it's for like Albertsons, Vons, like Safeway, Kroger. So it's going to be our first foray into a booth with masks sampling. So it's going to be a big deal. So
awesome.
See how it goes.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, man. All right, well, have a good night, David.
You.
Take care, my friend.
You as well. Take care.
All right, so that's episode 56 of 15 Minutes of Genius. Again, David Czinn, CEO, co-founder of Devash Organics. Our guest on the next episode is going to be Julie, and she is from Modern Pops, which is an awesome popsicle, which is in a lot of stores across the country. So we'll get into that in our next episode. Big plug, Mark Nicholas, mark@manhattanbeachstudios.net for all your editing desires. So one last thing, stay genius, my friends. Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.